Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Binu Syabani. First of all, let's pray and thanks good Allah Subhanahu wa Taala who's given us some mercies and blessings, so now we can meet and gather here in a good place and happy chance. Secondly, may peace and situation always be given to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, was brought us from the darkness to the brightness, and from the stupidity to cleverness, and from the Jahiliyah era into Islamiyah era. And Honorable Kiai Haji Muhammad Hasan Matawakilullah SIM as the caretaker of the Senggang Islamic Boarding School, and the Honorable Mr. Abdul Aziz Wahab BAMG as the Director of Senggang University, and respectable Miss Raudatul Islam MPD as a lecturer for advanced vocabulary courses. Okay, hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about three things that we encounter a lot in our daily communication, which are formal language, semi-formal language, and informal language. Maybe you have already used both types of language, but you might not always be aware of the difference or when to use which. So I will explain in more detail. Let's start with formal language. Formal language is the type of language used in more official or professional situation. For example, when you are writing an email to your professor, writing a job application, or presenting in front of your boss or colleagues, formal language, the words are more polished. There are no abbreviation, and the grammar must be spot on. You also need to choose a more proper word, like using process instead of have, or do not instead of don't. This is important because formal language creates an impression or professionalism and seriousness, and it shows that you want the listener or reader to respect what you are saying. Besides that, formal language typically has more complex sentence structure. You can just write short sentence like in a chat. You need to be more detailed and structured. For example, when writing a report, you must clearly explain one idea per paragraph, and you can use vague or unclear language. So why do we need formal language? The benefit is obvious, especially in academic or professional environment. Formal language makes you seem more respected and trustworthy. If you use this language correctly, people will perceive you as serious and competent. For instance, when you email your professor about an assignment, using formal language makes you come across as respectful. Imagine if you emanate with informal language, your professor might think you are being impolite or not serious. Okay, next we have formality in instruction. This is really important for public announcement or instruction. Usually, these instructions are delivered in a short and clear manner, like the public house is closed until further notice, or do not like while the bus is in motion. Using formal language allows us to convey information clearly without confusing the audience. Then there's semi-formal language. This is a style that's in between formal and informal. We use it when talking to colleagues. We are somewhat familiar with, but still want to be polite, like when sending an email. Its features include a polite but relaxed tone, allowing some contraction and straight forward sentence that aren't too complicated. Semi-formal language is perfect for slightly casual situation. Now let's move on to informal language. Informal language is the more casual kind of language we use in daily life, like when chatting with friends, group chat, or even when you tweet something. Here, you don't have to worry too much about strict grammar rules. You can use slang, um, abbreviation, and short strike like you, I, and or anything you frequently hear in a casual conversation. For example, we might say, "Want to grab a drink" instead of "Would you like a beverage?" Informal language makes conversation feel warmer and more comfortable, and it can strengthen relationship. The characteristic of informal language that are the more flexible. You are not bound by strict language rule. In fact, sometimes we slip in emotion. Here, for example, you can use words that are more expressive or funny to convey your feelings. So, informal language feels more personal and can make the conversation feel closer. You can also use this language to build a more comfortable relationship with others. When short, we use informal language. Well, if you are chatting with friends, messaging in a group, or creating content on social media, this is the right time to use informal language. Why? Because with informal language, you can easily convey your message without sounding stiff or too serious. The person you are talking to will also respond more casually. For example, when you are chatting with a friend about assignment, you definitely use more relaxed language so the conversation doesn't feel heavy and is more enjoyable. Now, why is it important to understand the difference between these two types of language? It's crucial to know how to adjust the language we just based on the situation and the audience. Just image if you spoke to your using informal language, it could come across as disrespectful. On the other hand, if you spoke to your friends using formal language, they might think you are too stiff or not fun. So knowing when to use which one makes your communication more effective. It's not just about the rules, but about you how you make others feel comfortable and understand what you are trying to say. So um, each type of language you use formally stable for serious situation, semi-formal for slightly casual but still polite, formal for relaxed chat. By knowing when and how to use each type of language, our communication can be more effectively and appropriate for this situation. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you for attendance. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.